Hey everyone, so this is Catfish UK Season 1, Episode um, 5, Alex and Matt. Alex is a hairdresser from Hastings, and a year prior to this, he matched with a guy named Matt. They've only spoken on the phone about once or twice, and they've never video chatted. So, um, once they kind of find all this information out, they go to Hastings to meet up with Alex. Um, and he explains, once they meet up with him, that he tried to make plans to meet up with Matt and was stood up. So they're like, can you please send us an email with everything that you know about him? And so he does. And the next day, Uba and Julie go investigate, starting with the number search. And they don't really find anything with that. The only thing that they find is that it's a UK number, and that's really about it. They do a reverse Google image search, don't find anything for the first two pictures that Alex has. And then on the third picture, it pops up an Instagram page that Alex had provided them. And so they feel like this particular um, profile is not really, something just doesn't feel right about it, because with most trainers, they try to promote themselves basically by putting up pictures and videos of themselves, um, either in the gym or with a client of theirs, and stuff like that. And so they're not really getting that. I mean, they're getting pictures of him, but it's not like in a gym or anything like that. It's really just of him, and those photos are tagged, and that's really just of him, obviously. So there's someone on one of his pictures who made a comment, whose name is Chaz. So they rechecked Chaz. Um, and so and as they're waiting for a response, they're looking up like Matt plus uh, booking him as a trainer or something along those lines. And it's weird that they can't really find him uh, on the internet to do that. So, um, especially since he's apparently so busy that he can't answer the phone or video chat. So then get a call from Chaz, who is like, "Well, I've known Matt for 13 years, um, and I not only are we friends, but we're fiancés." Um, so that gives them a lot of information right then and there. So they get off the phone with Chaz, and it's like, well, Uba thinks it's like, you know what, this is probably why um, Matt hasn't been able to talk on the phone, let alone video chat, because he has a whole ass fiance sitting in the room next to him, and he can't very well get on the phone to talk or even freaking video chat. So yeah, okay. So they pack up their shit, drive straight to Alex's place, and tell him about this whole thing. So after telling Alex everything that they found, including the fiance and stuff, they get a text message from Matt saying, "I heard from Chaz, and I'm confused. I want to know what's going on." So they decide to meet up with him that afternoon at the hotel. So they all go back to the hotel and wait, and Matt eventually ends up coming to the room, and he's actually the guy in the pictures, and his name is actually Matt. So they're like, well, how do you remember meeting Alex? And he's like, well, one of us requested to follow the other, and that's really how far it goes, is just being a follower of each other on Facebook. Like, I follow him, he follows me, and that's really it. So Julie's like, well, Alex was on a dating profile a year ago, and yada yada yada, matched with someone whose name is Matt, who is using your pictures, um, and for last year has been talking to this person who he thinks is you. Um, and he's like, well, it's not me. That is not me at all. Um, so Uber then, sends a voice message to this catfish, for a time and place to meet up. And they get, a message back from the catfish saying, well, okay, fine. I'll text you a time and place, but it'll be on my terms. So this catfish, then texts a time and place for the next day, and um, going on the next day, they go to the place this catfish texted. Person comes up, and it's a woman named Jess. So she says, "Well, I'm Matt. Me and you had met at a party. This when this party took place, it's not specified, but we met at this party. Um, and essentially, what happened was you had said, while you were standing behind me, who comes to a party by themselves? And not only that, but you say that I'm boring." So she decided to teach him a lesson for having said this about her in at a party in what I assume was over a year ago. And this is apparently the first time she's ever done this. So it's like, but girl, you literally wasted not only a year of his life, but a year of your life by doing all this. And for what? Just to teach it as a lesson? Like, I mean, Julie was right. You could have fucking just picked up the damn phone and been like, look, I didn't appreciate what you said about me at this party. And he's over here sitting over here. Alex is over here, like, just saying, like, I don't remember ever saying this. I mean, which could be true. Like, he could have been so blacked out drunk that he just said something while he was drunk and just didn't remember. I mean, he seemed like his face looked like he just didn't remember ever having said this shit. So it's like, I mean, and it's just like, and it's so weird. It's like I mean, if this is what you do after someone says this, after one person pisses you off one time, what are you gonna do the next time someone pisses you off? Are you gonna catfish with this other person for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years? Who? I mean, are you? Because that's just weird. Like, you do all this just because one person pissed your ass off, and it's like, well, and she's like, well, hit, like, what he did, what he said was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, well, okay, but you manage to control your anger and ego and shit long before this, and ever since he said this about you. So I mean, apparently, but I don't know. It's just like, girl, like, you need to make this make sense, because that's been my phrase for the last year and a half to 2 years at least. Make it make sense, because sometimes these people just don't be making shit make sense. Like, it just right over my damn hairspray, even though I don't wear any, and it's like, the fuck is going on? Like, you really up in here just doing it over. I mean, it's weird. I'm just like, okay, so 2 months later, she's feeling really bad about what she's done. They let her apologize to Alex via FaceTime or whatever the fuck, and he accepts her apology and yada yada yada, and it's just, oof. Yeah, it was a lot, because I'm just sitting here like, I mean, I've had people say shit about me, and I just, I mean, it's come on, come on, it's just, look, it's just so freaking weird. I mean, she could have had literally not wasted her entire freaking time. Like, it's just, girl. I mean, you wasted literally wasted a year of your time. Like, I mean, I can find so many more things I could fucking done with my life for 12 months instead of that. That's so much time and energy expended for what? For what? I mean, girl, like, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, mm. I mean, she seems to have stopped with the bullshit, but I mean, I'll not be me. Swear. Anyway, so that's essentially what I have to say about episode 5. Um, Sorry for this video being rather late today. I was quite busy earlier today, so I apologize for that. Um, and I will see you guys next week for the next episode. Bye.